I'm Chronix for the most extreme wrestling, and this is your Smackdown review for May 24th, 2013. My first Smackdown episode in a long time, and after watching this episode, now I know why. First, we start out with the Triple H and Brock storyline from Extreme Rules again, because we love just hearing about that. And they had like the voiceover and the what happened to Triple H and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, this is so exciting. All the excitement from Raw transferred over and retold on SmackDown. But Triple H has a fake concussion, which I don't think anybody actually believes, in real life that he had a concussion, because it was all like it was. But anyways, I don't really want to talk about that storyline because I think it sucks. So, let's talk about what actually happened on SmackDown. The Miz came out for Miz TV, and the crowd had zero reaction whatsoever to him being there or the fact that he was doing his little show. And if you've ever wondered what exactly the fake SmackDown pop that they pipe in there and add post-production wise with the people cheering and everything sounds like, perfect example, because as soon as they show his face, you can tell the crowd is dead, you can hear the crowd is dead, and you can hear that inserted sound placed over it, and they do it twice, right at the beginning. So a perfect example right there. And he introduces Fandango, or whatever, however you say his name. And he comes out, and he's got that girl with him, and they talk for a while. The Miz says some stupid jokes. It was really lame. It was boring. And I was just like, this is terrible. I mean, The Miz, I don't know what happened to him, but he's no longer funny.
Really?
He's no longer interesting. Have you not been paying attention to Raw when he gets on there?
Yeah, but I thought he was fine last time, but I guess he didn't really talk. On
Miz TV?
I'm not sure if I remember that.
Yes, you've forgotten about Miz TV because it is so lame.
That sucks. They're probably freaking WWE trying to make him a good guy, that's why.
True. But, anyways, Fandango says something about how he's going to dance all over his face or something. I didn't really understand that line. But Wade Barrett comes out, the Intercontinental Champion, and he says to The Miz that I tapped you out, or The Miz says that to him, which I thought was a weird line. I tapped you out? Isn't it like I made you tap out? I don't know. It sounded like they were just screwing up everything they were saying. It just wasn't working. I don't know. But anyways, this causes a little bit of a fight, and Wade Barrett, the champion, is now going to go against The Miz, and on commentary, none other than Fandango, who was trying to sound a lot like Goldust, I thought. He was, real low tone of voice and talking extremely slow. And it just was like, whoa. And then Fandango's like, hey, I think I'm going to dance. So they play his music and he dances. And I was like, wow, this is terrible. Like 12 minutes in and I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm watching anymore. But, yes. Wade Barrett hits the black hole slam. Dude kicks out. Fandango kicks The Miz. This causes a disqualification, and everybody beats up on The Miz. And I'm like, okay. Now we see Daniel Bryan backstage, and he's talking to himself. Kane comes in there and says, look, man, it was like my fault that I got pinned or whatever. I'm sorry. And Daniel Bryan is like super paranoid and saying, oh, because I wasn't there to help you out or whatever. And I was like, that is like good stuff. It was funny to me because Daniel Bryan is blaming himself for everything. So it's his fault if he got pinned. It's his fault if Kane got pinned. No matter what happens, he's blaming himself. I thought that was some good stuff. And he's saying that he is not, in fact, the weak link and everything in the tag team. He's like afraid they're going to break up or something. And Kane is like, no, we're still together. Now we got Swagger versus Bryan. I'm so glad I didn't have to hear Jack Swagger and Deb Coulter talk. I just want them gone. I just don't care. I just don't like Swagger at all. Never have. But, whatever. And yes, Daniel Bryan wins. He makes a dude tap out. He goes after the no lock again and makes, extra pain. And Kane is like, dude, you got to stop this. And Daniel Bryan is just a little bit crazy. Now, got Damien Sandow, and I think to myself, awesome. I love Damien Sandow. I love to hear him talk. He's out there in a suit. He's so condescending. He's so smart. His promos are just so interesting.
Oh, no more bathrobe?
What?
He used to come out in a bathrobe.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think it was a bathrobe. It was like a, I sit on my expensive couch with all my books in the background with my whiskey.
It's a leisure robe, which is the exact same as a bathrobe, just for rich people.
Leisure robe, not a bathrobe.
Yes.
Yes. Well, he was wearing a suit. I don't really know why I switched the suit. Maybe people thought that he was wearing a bathrobe like that.
I mean, maybe.
But
Ric Flair wore bathrobes his entire career.
No, they were not bathrobes.
Really fluffy bathrobes.
They weren't bathrobes.
I mean, I like Ric Flair, but...
They weren't they're not made out of towel material.
You don't have to have a bathrobe out of towel material. It's not a rule for a bathrobe.
Actually, it is.
No, it's not.
Because you wear it when you get out of the bath.
Yes, but it does not
Robe.
have to be made out of towel material.
It has to be able to soak up water.
No, not necessarily.
It's made out of Bounty towels?
No, I had a bathrobe that was made out of regular material.
Anyways, Damian Sandow's talking about how stupid it is that on Raw and SmackDown you see tug-of-wars, arm wrestling, truck pulling, and I was like, yes, those things do irritate me, but he really did absolutely no better, and probably worse. He starts talking about this Gordian knot, and I have to ask you, Crystal, do you know what a Gordian knot is?
Gordian knot?
Yeah.
Is that like, as in like a cosmonaut, as in a space figure, or as a, like, wrestling move, like a knot, like K-N-O-T?
A knot as in you tie a knot.
That would be the K-N-O-T one.
Like a slip knot or a monkey's fist.
Okay.
Or whatever.
I do not know what a Gordian knot is.
Anyways, it's a story about a guy who made a knot that was so incredibly strong that no one could break it. If somebody could break it, then they were super special. It's like some kind of mythical tale or something. I don't know. I never.
He might have made that up.
Well, he might have, but I somehow doubt it. And
unless you're saying the name wrong or something.
He also said that those other things that were stupid, WWE was like going for the lowest common denominator of fans, which is true. And I don't like that either. But, like I said, he does no better with this Gordian knot. He has this knot that just looks like a big wadded up thing. And I'm like, yeah. And he asked Matt Striker to untangle it. And he would be someone special if he could untangle it. And I thought to myself, a Gordian knot is nothing. Before you've seen my headphones get in a freaking knot, and I can't. It takes me forever. It's like the same difference. But anyways, Matt Striker cannot do it. The dude doesn't even try, really. And I think to myself, I have really seen everything in WWE now. I have seen an untying a knot contest. I've seen tying a knot, as in marriage. What do you...
I looked up the Gordian knot. It's a legend of something I can't pronounce, Gordium, associated with Alexander the Great. A metaphor for an intractable problem.
Well, it was intractable. And Sheamus comes down to the ring and is kind of a bully and a jerk, which I don't understand that about his whole thing. I mean, he's so mean. You know, it's just... I don't know. He's just not like just beating him up because Sandow's a jerk. He's just kind of a jerk when he does that. I don't know, man. But he talks about Newton's Law, and he's like, you know what that is? So he makes Damian Sandow fall outside of the ring. And I was like, wow. Now we have Chris Jericho, who's still around, versus The Big Show, and they say that both of these guys in the future will be like #1 top tier inductions into the Hall of Fame. And I was like, well, I guess that is true eventually, unless they get permanently injured and then they have to retire and then they'll be in like next year. But whatever. So this is the part, Crystal, that I wanted you to hear.
Okay.
During this match.
Oh, you didn't like my commentary of all the other things that I heard?
Well, I never do, but I can't help myself, but I have to bring this up. During the match, in the commentary, one of the dudes said that Y2J is like Johnny Depp.
What?
Because he's...
That's awesome.
Because he's, like, irrelevant. And then he said that he's more like JBL's... Like, he's like, you wouldn't know who that is because you're not old enough or something. I don't know. But then they said, you would know Liam Neeson because you're that old, and you'd have to be old to know who Liam Neeson is. Then they went on to say that, they said something about Pirates of the Caribbean, and they said that you would have to be super duper old to even know what the Pirates of the Caribbean was.
What?
And I was like, what the crap are they talking about? So apparently, I'm incredibly old for even knowing what Pirates of the Caribbean the movies are. Because the last movie came out like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like not even about that it's been out for like what, almost 10 years or whatever.
I guess it has been, but it's like they kept the franchise going for like ever.
But the point is, it's about knowing what it is. That doesn't make you old. That's like knowing what the original Cinderella movie is. That doesn't make you old. It just means that you know what a famous movie is. That's stupid.
Good point.
And Liam Neeson is in movies now. So how would you be old to know who Liam Neeson is? Oh my god, it was making my brain hurt. And then I thought to myself, this is so stupid. It's like WWE. They expect you to know everything about Bruno Sammartino when he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame, a guy who wrestled like a bazillion years before my time.
That's true.
I'm supposed to know everything about him, but I'm supposed to be considered old if I know what Pirates of the Caribbean is, Liam Neeson, or Johnny Depp, who, by the way, is in a brand new movie.
That's true, he is.
Both of these guys are. How stupid is that?
It's pretty stupid.
But anyways, I have to let my brain get away from that. And Big Show gets code breaked into the timekeeper's area with the bell and everything. And I saw that they had their own little area. And I knew this. They've had this for a while. They have their own segregated area.
What,
and,
for the bell?
Yeah. Why? I started thinking to myself, really, why do they have this? This makes no sense.
Probably a tradition.
It's not a tradition because it's new.
Okay. My bad.
But then I think I came across why they actually do it. I think it gives them an area where they can throw people in the crowd without them actually going into the crowd. So it just kind of looks like they've entered in dangerous territory when they in fact haven't. Or if they break through the barricade, they don't actually kill a dude in front row. They can break through the barricade and be safe. And I think that, that has to be why they did it. But, on a logical standpoint, from like thinking about like if it was real life, yeah, it makes absolutely no sense why they get their own area to ring a freaking bell. It probably even obstructs their vision. But due to a count out because of this, Chris Jericho wins, and now we have Paul Heyman and Curtis Axel in the ring. Curtis says that he, by the very fact that he was face to face with Triple H, not the fact that he beat him technically, but the fact that he stood right in front of his giant nose, he accomplished more than his grandfather and more than his father, Mr. Perfect.
He did not say that.
Yes, he did. And I was like, wow, someone is... What?
You know how we were talking about after Raw, that segment did not do anything for Curtis Axel because it wasn't even about him.
It was about Triple H.
And Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
So he literally did nothing.
Yeah. And it was depressing.
Wait, who was his grandfather?
Larry the Axe Hennig.
Oh, that's right. That guy was like a child molester, wasn't he?
I think that was Jake the Snake Roberts' dad.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. My bad.
But anyways, now to prove Curtis Axel's dominance and how great he's going to be and how he's going to be like the next big thing because he's with Paul Heyman and everything, he stood nose to nose with Triple H, and that made him better than his father and grandfather, everything they ever done. He accomplished more by standing nose to nose with the dude. By doing that, now his next move is to have a Sin Cara match. And in mood lighting and all, he's so freaking awesome that Sin Cara still gets more control over the match because he gets to have his own super special mood lighting or whatever. So,
nice.
I didn't even know Sin Cara was still around, but he is.
I didn't either, I forgot about him.
Curtis Axel wins, and I think, man, what a win. Just like when dude beat Zack Ryder on Raw, it was like, wow, I can't believe that was a big victory. That's what I thought about this match. Man, that was a huge victory. He beat freaking Sin Cara in 2013. Oh, my God. Now we have Kofi Kingston, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose, United States Champion. This is a rematch for the championship. Ends in a DQ. And I was like, oh, because the Shield, they attacked. I bet you can't believe that, but they did. The Shield still comes through the crowd. Why? We know they work for WWE. They're holding half of their titles.
Oh, are they supposed to come to the crowd because they don't work for WWE?
I mean, I think that was kind of the established point in the beginning because they were outsiders or something.
That didn't make logical sense.
Why can't they come through the entranceway now? They have music. They have TV time. I mean, come on now. I mean, I guess coming through the crowd is fun and it's cool and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
I mean, screw it. Why not? But, you know, I don't know, I'm just trying to think logically. It's so stupid of me. But anyways, DQ, and Orton and Sheamus come out. So there's like all the Shield, Orton, Sheamus, and Kofi. So, man, it's SmackDown. Guess what's going to happen? It's freaking WrestleMania 2000 music hits, and it is Teddy Long. Teddy Long comes down and says, wait a minute, player. This is SmackDown, and there's a bunch of guys. So it's time for a 3-on-3. They have a 6-man match, and that goes on the Shield versus Orton, Kofi, and Sheamus. And then, yes, that's the match, and I think the Shield stands tall. I don't even remember, quite honestly. But that was SmackDown. It was like, okay, I guess. But, man, the freaking The Miz and that Miz TV thing made my brain boil. I just hated it. But, man, that was SmackDown. Hope it's better next week.